In our last class, I showed you how to create using SQL and how to insert values into the table you create. In today's class, I'm going to show you how to write basic SQL queries like the select, where, order by in SQL. There are a few things you should keep in mind when you are working with SQL. You have to understand that SQL is structured, but it is not case sensitive. So if you like, you can write it in uppercase. If you like, you can write it in lowercase. It is not case sensitive. And in SQL, when using MS SQL, like Microsoft SQL Server that we are using, you can either end your statements with a semicolon, or even if you don't have the semicolon, it will work perfectly. But if you are working with tools like MySQL instead of Microsoft SQL Server that we are using, if you don't end your statements with a semicolon, then you might get an error. So these are just some of the simple difference between Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, PostgreSQL. So they just have little difference that you need to watch out for when you are working with each of them. I'll go ahead to open the file we saved in our last class. Control O to open, and you can see the file right here. So I'm just going to open it. Okay, now that is opened, you can see the query we wrote the last time. We created a table, we inserted value into our table, and if we check this database, we can still see that we can see the database we created here, and also we can still see the table that we created from our last class. It is already saved in our database. Now let's further explain what select from, where, order by does using the sample data table that we have. So I'll start by running this. If I run this, I'm going to get an error. Can somebody tell me why I have an error? If you're able to think about why we have an error, then I'm giving you a round of applause. But if you can't, it's totally fine. You remember I told you that whenever you want to work, you have to change the database to the database where you have your table saved. And that is why we got that error. Now we can rerun it since we've changed it. You can write something that we call comments. I could write a comment by starting with 2 dash and I'll say, welcome to class. Okay. You write comments just to remember what your code is talking about. For example, when I created a table here, I could write a comment at the beginning right here and say, create a customer table. Okay, so whenever I come back to this query, let's say like in years to come, I come back to this query and I don't know what this query, I'm just wondering, what did I use this query for? This comment will remind me that, oh, what I did right in this block is to create a customer table, right, with 4 columns. So that was just what we did with this code. And for this one, you can also add a comment or view the data set or view the data table. Okay, so you can add comments at the beginning of each query you are writing just to remember what each of it is about. And this will help you a lot as a beginner. And you also have to know that we have a single line comment and a multiple line comment. Let's say I want to comment out this code block. I'm just going to add a slash and double asterisk at the beginning, right? And at the end, I want to also add double asterisk then slash. SQL now understand that this block where we started with slash double asterisk and ended it is now a comment. If I run it, you see that nothing is going to happen because we already commented it out. So if you are doing single line comments, you are doing double dash. If you are doing multiple line comments, you are using this and asterisk, and also you close it once you're done. Let's proceed now. You have to understand that what we use this select for, we use it to pull data. We basically use it to choose specific columns. So from this data set that we have, you can see we have 4 different columns. If I want to see all of the columns in the table, I'll use asterisk, right? But I can also use this select to choose a particular column that I want to see. So let's say from the customers table, I want to only know the location of our customers. I can select only location instead of using asterisk for everything from customers, which is the customers table, right? And now I can just proceed to run this query. You see, it's only showing us the location column from this table. And we can also say that we want to see 2 different columns. So let's want to see 2 columns instead of 1. So let's say we want to see the ID and the location of the customer. So now we can just do select the first column you want to see, comma, the second column you want to see. And then we can run this. If you run this, you can see now that it's showing us 2 columns. If you want to see 3 columns, you can even further add it. Like, okay, let's say we want to see the customer name as well. Okay, so let's run this now. You can see now that it's showing us the 3 columns. So you can use select to choose specific columns that you want to see. Now that you understand what select and how we can use the select query, let's now talk about the where clause, okay, or the where statement. We use it to filter data. Remember, this is comment I'm writing. I've not started writing my query. We use it to like narrow down our results. Let's say we want to see customers' details that are older than 20 years. We can write a query by saying select all, right, from our customers table, right? Then we now use the where clause to filter out, to narrow down our result, to show us only customers that have age greater than 20. Okay, and then we can say where age is greater than 20. Now we can run this. If we run this now, can you see now that it's only showing us 2 customers and we had 3 customers in the original data set, right? In the original data set, we had 3 customers, but Tosin is 15 years old, which is less than the 20 years old we specified. So this is used to filter out data. You remember we did filtering in Excel as well. So everything you did in Excel, you can still do it in SQL. Let's try to use the where clause for a different scenario. Okay, so let's see our data again and see where we can use where. To see the customers that are in Nigeria, that their location is Nigeria. So we are just going to select all from customers, and then we are going to say where location. This time around, we are going to say where their location equals to, then in quotes, you want to put Nigeria. Remember that Nigeria is a string data type. That's the only reason why I'm putting it in a single quote. The first age we specified is a numerical data. That's why we just did greater than 20 straight up. But you might be wondering that, okay, but location too is string. Why didn't we add it? Remember that location is a column header. So let's run this. You can see now from the data set that we only have 1 customer in Nigeria. We can even add more than one filter. You can see for this example, we only added location as filter. Right? Let's say we now want to see customers that are in Nigeria and their age is less than 20. We are going to say, okay, show us all the column from the customers table where the location of the customer is Nigeria, and then you can just do and the age, that is the column is the age, is less than 20, right? So we have specified 2 different conditions that whatever you are showing us, the location must be Nigeria and the person's age has to be less than 20. So let's run this. You can see that we have no results. That means that none of our customers fit these 2 conditions that we specified. If we look at the entire data set here, you can see that the only customer we have from Nigeria's age is 24, which is greater than 20. Let's change this query to greater than 20 and then we run it. Can you see that it's now showing us the client that we have in Nigeria and whose age is greater than 20? So this is how we can use where clause in SQL. Let's now talk about order by. Order by is more like sorting in Excel. You remember that when we're working in Excel, we want to sort from highest to lowest or from lowest to highest. But in SQL, instead of calling it sorting, we use the order by clause to do that. So let's say we want to select our customers. Let's select all the columns. We want to see all the columns from the customers table. Okay, and then we want to order it by their age. If we look at this original table now without any condition, you can see that we have 15, 34, 24, right? So we now want to arrange it such that it will be 15, 24, and 34. It will be arranged, all right, from lowest to highest, right? And say order by. So we are going to order by this age column because that's what we want to use to order it, right? The age column. So we're going to say order by age, all right? And if you run this now, you see now that it has arranged it. So now Tosin that is 15 is up, Stephanie that is 24 is in the middle, and Dan that is 34 is down. So this is arranging it in ascending order. If you use order by, automatically it's going to arrange it in ascending order. But let's say what you actually want to do is arrange it in descending order. All you have to do is at the front of order by and the column you want to order it by, you can just write DESC. That means descending. Once I run it now, it's going to arrange it in descending order. It's not just a numerical column or integer column that we can use to order by. We can also use alphabetic data type like string, okay? So let's say we want to order by the location now. I can just do order by location right here. If I order it by location, it's going to arrange it from A, B, C, D, E, F, G in ascending order like that. You can see now that China is first, Germany second, and Nigeria is third. So, and if you want to arrange it from Z to A, you remember that you're going to put D, E, S, C, which means descending at the end. So if you run it now, you can see now that it's starting from N, G, and C. Okay, so now let's combine select, where, order by that we have learned in this tutorial in one query. Now we want to know our customers that their age is greater than 20 and we want to order by their names, all right? So we're going to do select. Let's select their name and their age and location. And then we can do from the customers table, then we can state our condition that where the age is greater than 20, all right? And then we want to order by their name, right? Okay, so what we are trying to do here is we want it to show us just 3 columns. We don't want it to show us this ID. We want it to show us just the customer name, age, and location. That's what we specified in the select query. After showing us the 3 columns, we want it to now apply filter. Don't show us every data that we have in this table. Only show us the people that their age is greater than 20. That's above 20. And then when you filter it out, order those people by their customer name, all right, in ascending order. So we are going to run this. You can see now that we have 34 and 24, all right? And we said that I should order it by the cost name. That is why 34 is coming up before 24 because D will come first before S, all right? And I hope you understand this example. So make sure you take out time to create a table. First, you have to create your database. I'm sure by now you already have your database created. Create multiple tables. You can create more than one table. Create like 3 different tables so you can be sure that you understand it very well. After creating your table, you can insert values into your table, right? After you insert values into your table, now try to check the table to see what it looks like, all right? After you insert values, try to play around using the where, the order by. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to import data into SQL. You can see the data table we have here is the one we created ourselves. Say they sent us a file and they want us to have it in the database instead. I'll show you how to import data in SQL, and also we'll discuss primary and foreign key, and also would go into more advanced query than just the select, where, and order by. I'll see you tomorrow and have a great day.